everybody, I'm Corinne Blackstone and welcome to my craft room. I'm so happy to have you here today. Before we get started, be sure that you are subscribed here to my YouTube channel. It is totally free to subscribe, and if you click that little bell icon, it will alert you when I post new videos. This is a video that I'm really excited about. I had a fun time putting it together, and we're going to do this entire design together. You're going to learn skills like how to use Slice, how to use Weld, different fonts, and how to set up a really fun design. Plus, we're gonna go ahead and make our very own leopard print glitter HTV using sublimation. What's great about sublimation is that you can do it on top of glitter HTV. But don't worry, this tutorial is great even if you don't do sublimation, because you can still learn how to make a really fun design like this, and it's gonna give you some skills that you can kind of translate into other things, so be sure to stay tuned. Now let me know if you have ever used offset before and been really frustrated with it, because I know I have, and even making this video, it gave me a little bit of trouble. So let's go ahead, get started, head over to Design Space, and I'm going to show you how to design this adorable Be Kind heart.
Whatever we would do, we do it just for fun.
This is going to be a really easy design to make. We're going to use shapes, font, and offset to do this, plus using Weld and Slice. So you're going to learn a few different techniques to make this happen. So what we're going to do first is we're going to start with our shape, and I'm just going to use a heart. You can use any shape that you want, but I think for the design we're going for, a heart is perfect. The heart is free in Design Space, which is also really nice. Now I am going to make it quite large right now just so that we can see it really well, but we'll size it down for our shirt in just a little bit. So what I want to do now is I'm going to choose my text. So the text I'm going to do is going to be kind. Now I don't know if I'm going to leave both of the letters actually capitalized, but we'll see what we think when we choose our font. Now I'm going to move it over here to the side, because now when you choose fonts in Design Space, what's kind of nice is if I go up to my font selection, which is in that upper left hand corner. Now I like to use my system fonts. I have way cuter fonts than Cricut has. And I'll show you which font I end up choosing here. And I'm going to show you a trick to choosing fonts as well. But I first want to show you kind of how Design Space does it now. So if I want to see what this font looks like, I can click on it and it doesn't close my font window like it used to. I can actually just see it right there at the side, which is why I move it over to the right-hand side. So you can kind of click through your fonts and find whichever one that you like. But what I want to show you is a quick trick to using your system fonts and not having to scroll through the whole list. There's this really great website called wordmark.it, and what's great is you can just type in the words that you want to see. So I want to see Be Kind, and I'm going to click the little arrow, and what that's going to do is it's going to bring up all of my fonts that I have on my computer. Now this won't work for Cricut fonts, it will only work for fonts that are physically on your computer. But what's great is you can kind of go through, and if you see one that you like the look of, you can select it and you'll see it'll get a blue box around it. So let's scroll through and find a few that are kind of the look that I may be going for with this design, and then I'll show you our next step. Now that I've gone through my list of fonts, what I want to do is up here at the very top where it says filter selected fonts, go ahead and click on that. And it's going to bring up all of the different fonts that I chose. Now, I don't know that I love the capital K. So if I don't love that, I can go back up here and click on it and actually change it. So now you can see all the fonts that I chose. Now I did change the K to a lowercase because I wasn't loving the uppercase K. But you can kind of go through and just see if there are fonts that you want to change. Like I don't love this one, so you can just remove it by clicking the little X to get rid of it. And I don't like this one. It's not kind of the vibe. This one isn't really it either. I kind of just don't like the K with these ones that kind of just look funny to me, so I don't like those. And I know they're script Ks, but they're just not for me. I don't like this one very much, this Boldwell. Austin Hearts is usually a pretty good front runner for me, and I don't hate it. I think so far this one is kind of my favorite, this Thinkle Bloom. It's kind of the vibe I'm going for, and I want it to be really easy to read, so I think we'll go with Thinkle Bloom. Now you saw how easy it was to really look at the different fonts next to each other and choose my font based on what they looked like, and that way I could kind of pick them out, see which ones I liked and see which I didn't. So let's head over to Design Space and we will put Thinkle Bloom on. Now back at Design Space, I do need to edit my font to get rid of my capital K just to change it to that lowercase k. And then what I want to do is I'm going to go back to my font, and in my system, since I know that it's called Thinkabloom, I can just search for the word think and it will come up. Then I can select it and it will change my font. I'm going to go ahead and close my font box because I know which color font I want to use or which type. And then I'm going to just change the colors of my things. So my heart's going to actually be like a hot pink. I'm just going to make it red, and then the words are going to be neon purple. It's going to be really cute. So I'm just going to change the colors really quick just to help me kind of visualize the different colors. The next thing that I want to do is I need to kind of move my words around. So I want to go to advanced, and I'm going to ungroup to lines. That's going to allow me to move the be separately and the kind separately. Now, obviously, these are really small for our design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand the letters and the words just to make them bigger. I do want them to take up a decent amount of our heart, but I don't want them to take up the whole thing because I do still want to be able to kind of see the heart beyond it. But I do also want the words to kind of stick out the side of the heart a little bit. So I think I need to make the B a little bit larger so that it kind of sticks out the top. So I think I like that. I think the way that it's sitting looks pretty cute. I maybe want to move the B down just a touch because we are going to add an offset. So once you're kind of happy with where everything's sitting, what I want you to do is to select both of your words. Now I just hold shift on my keyboard and click them both. Just makes it easier for me. And then what you're going to do is go down to combine. And for this, I want you to weld them. We're not going to need to undo this for any reason, so it's fine to weld. You could use union as well, but I just prefer weld. Then what I want to do is I'm going to grab an offset. So I'm just going to click offset, and it's going to bring up an offset. Now, that actually is a pretty decent size, I think, for what I want to do, but I'm just going to play with the sizing a little bit and just sort of see if I reduce it a little bit, if I'm slightly happier with it. But I think that looks pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and click apply. Now with my offset, I actually want to slice it out from the heart so that it is going to show the color of the shirt through and around our design. Now I want to leave the holes in my offset because I like it that way. I think it looks pretty nice. So I want to make sure that my offset is selected, and I want to select my heart. Now remember, when using slice, you can only slice 2 items at a time. So over in your layers panel, you should only have 2 things selected, or slice isn't going to work. I'm going to go ahead and click slice, and slice takes a second sometimes. It's been a little bit slow every once in a while. So now what you'll see is you have a ton of different layers over here in your layers panel. I want to get rid of this first one because that's just like the weird edges. And then I want to get rid of this middle one because that's just the black part. And then I want to get rid of this last top one because that's the red part that we're getting rid of. Now you can really see the style of your design. I think this is super cute, and don't forget, we're going to do another really cute little addition to this because I just think it's going to be really, really fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this whole thing, and I'm going to resize it from here because it is a little bit big. It's like 11 inches tall, wide, which is a little bit too wide on an adult large shirt, which is what I'm putting this on. So I do want to reduce it a bit. I typically on like an adult large, I go about 9.5, a little bit more. So I think that's a pretty decent size at 9.58. You can kind of judge it by the design as well. So sometimes they look a little bit better if they are bigger, but you really just kind of need to play with it and figure out what the right size is for your shirt. The next thing that I want to do is I want to make sure to flip this design because we are going to need to mirror it for HTV. We're using Glitter HTV for this because we're going to sublimate over it. So what I want to make sure to do is I want to choose flip, and then I want to flip it horizontally. I hate using mirror after I hit make it. A, I tend to forget to do it, and B, sometimes Design Space doesn't register the fact that you've chosen to mirror it, and then it doesn't cut it mirrored. This is just a really surefire way to make sure that you don't forget and that it actually does it correctly. Now, before I do anything else, because we did design this, I want to click save, and I'm just going to save this, and not like that, don't unclick it. I'm just going to save this as Be Kind Heart, and that way I can kind of remember what it is. Now, what's cool too is that you can add it to any of your collections, or you can create a new collection. I have quite a few collections to choose from, so I could always add something to it if I want to, but I'm good. I don't need to save this to anything, so I'm just going to click save. That way it's perfectly saved. I don't have to worry about like having to redesign it if something happens after I hit make it. So we're going to cut this out first, and I'm going to show you how to set up your sublimation before I take you over to the machine. But first, let me show you what happens when we hit make it. That way you can see it on the two different sheets. So this is going to be our hot pink page, and then this one is our neon purple page. So you can see really easy setup, super simple, two little sheets, and then this is going to cut on the glitter iron-on setting. Now let's head over. I'm going to show you how I'm going to print out our leopard print, because the way I'm going to do it is a little bit different. You could technically print it from Design Space, but it's not going to print large enough to cover the whole design. So I recommend printing it from somewhere else. I love using Canva for this kind of stuff. It's great, it's easy, and you can do it for free, which is also kind of a bonus. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to custom size. Now I've already set mine to 8.5 by 11, but all you'd have to do is up here, just change your width and your height, and then make sure that this is set to inches, not pixels. But I'm just going to click on my preset one. Super simple. Then let it load, and what you're going to do is if you go to elements, I just want you to type in, and you can do any design that you want, but I want to use a leopard print for this. So I'm going to search leopard, and then I'm going to click see all. Then I want to filter this down because I'm going to do this completely free. So what I'm going to do is select my filter, and where it says free, I'm going to select that. And then I'm going to make sure to turn off the animated stuff. So I want to click static, and then I'm going to click apply filters. Now the perfect one is literally right here at the front, and this is the one that we're going to use. This is a great option for like printing your free stuff, and that way you don't have to like fight with other programs, and Canva is super easy to use. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill my page pretty much with my leopard print, and I kind of just need to decide about how big I want to make it. Now there's lots of other like designs that you can use if you want to. So just kind of scroll through and see. You might find something that you really like better than like what we have. But because of the way I want to design this, I want to use a black leopard print. Now I want it to be relatively tight and small for our design because I want it to really show. So what I'm going to do is I sort of sized this just in a general size. I'm going to do like a 4x4 square. That's plenty. I'm going to use Control C and Control V on my keyboard to copy and paste my design. And you'll notice that it is fairly seamless, so it's super easy to get it to line up. Now it does have, and I'll zoom in a little bit, you can see that it does have a little bit of a white seam there, but it's really completely unnoticeable once you print it, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. So once I've got one set kind of selected, I'm just going to select both and do Control C, Control V again. And that way now I have just another really easy to grab section. And I'm just going to do Control V one more time because I'm just going to make sure that my page is pretty well filled up with the leopard print. That way it looks really like pretty seamless. Now, if it really bothers you that it's got this little bit of a seam, you can kind of play with it a little bit and try to get it to move closer, but it is really difficult. That's just the way Canva is. Now I'm going to select everything and I'm just going to move it over a little bit just so that it's more centered on the page. So now you'll see we have a full page of this leopard print. So what you're going to do is you're going to click share and you're going to choose download. Now you have a couple of options when you're downloading these as a non-paying member. I have Pro, so I have more options, but for this, we can just use PDF print. That usually just comes out fine. And all I want to do for this is just click download. You don't have to do anything crazy special to it. It's really, really easy to work with this. And that's one of the things that I really love about Canva. Now I'm going to go to my desktop and I'm going to save it into my Cricut folder, and then I'm going to put it into my sublimation stuff, just so if I want to use it again, it's easy to find. I'm just going to call it full page leopard because that's what it is. And I'm going to click save. Now from here, I am going to open up that PDF that I downloaded, and I simply just need to print this out. It's very easy to print from here. All you simply need to do is click print, and it's going to bring up your printer options here. Now I want to make sure I have the correct printer selected, so that's my ST4000. And even though this is a black and white image, I am going to tell it to print in color. And then I want to go to more settings. And all I want to do is I'm going to go right here. It says print using system dialog. Now again, I want to make sure I have my correct printer selected. I'm going to go to preferences. and I'm gonna change my quality here to high. And then I wanna go to more options, and I wanna turn off my high-speed print. Now for this image, we don't need to mirror it because it doesn't have words. It doesn't really matter which way it faces. It's gonna look the same regardless. So I'm not gonna bother with the mirror setting, but everything else should be fine. Now you can definitely go into your custom colors and adjust anything you might need to on your printer, but for blacks, I don't need to do any color correction. They really print very, very well. The next thing that I'm going to do is click OK and click print to send it to my sublimation printer. The first color we're going to cut is this fabulous neon pink, which I'm obsessed with. I love this color. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on to my mat. And you want to make sure this is well held down to your mat. So you want to make sure you're using a relatively sticky mat. I'm going to go ahead and load this. And again, this cuts on the color. This cuts on the glitter iron-on setting. So we're going to go ahead and get this cut out, and then we'll cut out our neon purple. We're going to go ahead and press them, and then I'm going to show you how to put your sublimation on. Go ahead and place it on the shirt. Now with this one, I'm going to put leopard print on the whole thing because I just think it'll look super cute. And I'm using a black shirt, and this is a Gildan soft style. And just for future reference, this is 100% cotton. So that's one way that we can use sublimation on cotton. Now, because this is a black shirt, I'm going to be able to press the entire leopard print design without worrying about it transferring to the shirt because it's not going to show anyways since it's black and it'll wash right out. So what I want to do, and I actually layered this kind of backwards a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and place the heart down first. So what I want to do now is figure out center for the heart, and I usually just eyeball it honestly, and then I go about 3 fingers down from the collar. I think that looks pretty good, pretty straight, pretty even. Now this presses for 320 degrees for typically 15 to 20 seconds. However, because we are doing this with the sublimation and we are also layering it, we want to make sure that we're not over pressing. So when we go over to heat press, I'm gonna explain all of that for you. The first thing that we need to do is press our first layer. And like I said, we're just gonna press this for just a couple of seconds. You don't wanna press it for too long. It will prevent it from shrinking and things like that if you press it pretty quickly. And you're also going to be pressing a second layer of glitter. So you press it just long enough for it to stick. And then when you peel it off, you do peel it hot. But what I want to make sure you guys do is go slow. That way, if anything for some reason didn't stick for who knows why, you can easily not mess it up. So now that I've got that piece off, I need to add my Be Kind section. So with this, you're just going to line it up and make yourself happy, you know, get it where it goes. This is a pretty easy design to line up, and I think it's going to be really cute with the leopard print. It's really cute without it. We're going to do a second press again, just for a couple seconds. You don't want to press for too long. I'm literally doing 3 or 4 seconds. Then again, just peel gently, peeling while hot. And we're just going to go ahead and peel that off. Like I said, this would be really cute on its own, but we're going to add some fun leopard print. So now I need to reset my heat press. So what I'm going to do is reset my heat press, and I'm going to hit the set button. And then I want to set my temperature up to 385. And then I do my time for 45 seconds. Once I'm done, I just hit set again, and set one more time, and we'll let this heat up. While we're waiting for it to heat up the last couple of degrees, we're gonna need some heat tape and your design. So you wanna make sure that your design covers your entire heart. And then I'm gonna use this cool heat tape dispenser. I love this thing. If I turn it, it pre-cuts my tape for me. It's great. I'll link this in the description. I just use that heat tape just to hold the paper down so that it doesn't shift at all while we're pressing, because we don't want any ghosting. And I just usually just stick some tape in those 4 corners. Then you're gonna want a piece of butcher paper, and this is gonna help prevent any of that ink from leaching from your paper onto your press. Now mine is a little bit rolled, so we'll see if we can get it to lay on there. Okay, that's good enough. Now we're gonna give it just a couple seconds more because it needs to heat up just a few more degrees. Then we're gonna press this for the 45 seconds. I'm so excited to show you how cute this is. It's such a fun way to use sublimation. All right, our press is heated up. Got our butcher paper down. We're ready to press. So again, this will press for 45 seconds. Now I am using a fairly firm pressure for this because I wanna make sure that that glitter does get a good press. So again, 45 seconds for 385 degrees. Now that it's done, go ahead, open up your press, and I'm gonna pull my butcher paper off. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take my design off, but I am gonna turn my press off first. That way I don't forget to. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull my sublimation paper off. Now keep in mind, this is hot, so you're gonna wanna pull it off pretty quickly. Oh, I love it, it's so cute. I'm gonna take this over to the table, let it cool, and then give you a look. Here's the shirt all finished. I think it looks amazing, super duper cute. And you can see how great that leopard print turned out on the glitter. Now again, typically you want to do sublimation on lighter colors, but when using black, it's going to keep most of its blackness through most of the lighter shades of colors. So I did those neon colors. They're pretty bright, but you can see how truly gorgeous that little leopard print looks. Now you can do this with any pattern, any design that you want to, and what's great about it is it's really fun to play around with the different colors and the different looks to see what really works for you and your style. This was a really quick and easy thing that you can make, and it's really unique. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in those comments down below. I am always happy to answer those for you. Be sure that you're subscribed to my channel here on YouTube. That way you don't miss out on any of the fun, crafty content we have coming. If you've tried sublimation on glitter before, let me know in those comments down below. Or is this something that you really, really want to try? I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, happy crafting!